What up, Nikki? Let me just mute everything for right now. I wanted to just go over a couple last little minute things. There's a couple things we still need. First off of the bat, what I'd like to actually do is, I was thinking for the title art, just to get it out of the way. I was actually thinking for the title art or the icon or the thumbnail, completely removing the humanoid space race lettering, just because it's kind of redundant. They have it underneath the title anyway. And then when you hover over it with your mouse, it comes up and it says it a couple of times. And I'm thinking, and it's kind of just hard. Our title's kind of long. Humanoid Space Race 2 is a pretty long title. And it just seems whenever I view the thumbnail, it's just kind of small on screen. So I was thinking about if we just remove the title completely, that will give us the opportunity to blow up the humanoid and make him fill up the screen and make him more prominent and bigger. And if you wanted to, you can even add in a couple more of those little floating mind doodads or whatever on the title screen as well, or the thumbnail as well. I think that'll just make the thumbnail a little bit better versus like someone kind of squinting down to look at the title of it when it's right there for the player anywhere directly under the thumbnail. So I just would like that change. And then on to the last little bits of audio. I've got everything pretty much updated. Still tinkering around with some volumes and stuff like that, but I'm starting to get happier with it. Everything's starting to really sound good. One of the problems is that the Flash player, when I test the Flash player, the sounds are kind of a little bit off compared to when I actually publish it and actually play it on Newgrounds. So I did all of these sound effects, and then when I published it to Newgrounds, the explosions were like way too loud. So I had to like go back and now I've been basically making tweaks and then publishing it and then checking it out on Newgrounds as I go. And things are starting to sound much better. But anyway, the biggest problem that we have right now is the flamethrower. What I think we need is like a really long continuous flame. The one you just sent me still has those little breaks. So basically it sounds like we need to get something that's literally like a 20-second long, and I'm using 20 seconds because, you know, if you upgrade your duration like all the way to the max, I think the maximum a player can have for their duration is right under 20 seconds. So it'd be impossible for, you know, anybody to go above that. So what we need to try to find is a sound effect that literally is 20 seconds long of like 100% continuous with no breaks in it, because every single time I do it, it just sounds really jerky. It's just like, and it just doesn't sound like a flamethrower at all. You had mentioned something about doing like an on fire effect as well. I'm completely fine if you could find a cool on fire. What, honey? What do you need, honey? Just give me a minute, honey, okay? And we're gonna go get some lunch. You want a cookie?
I want cookie.
I think we have cookies. Just give me a minute. I'm going to make this video for Nikki, and then we'll go get some cookies and some lunch. So we need that like really long, drowned out sound effect with no breaks in it, and that'll make the flamethrower sound good. And then the last little bit are these gold stars. You know, we need something for the end when we beat the end here. And I had mentioned something about, you know, maybe using like some fireworks or something like that. But for when these stars pop out, and basically I'm going to attach it to these stars. We need like I want it just to be like choo 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 choo, almost like I do this like pretty cool little API image shatter effect too on a lot of things, but I also do it on this star. So I was thinking of like the stars could sound somewhat like a firework going off. It'd be really cool if at the end here, along with the jingle, it was like pew 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 pew, you know, and then I could put a little that sound effect. So we need some kind of little bleep or blooper, some kind of fireworks sound effect, or some kind of like loud, high-pitched little sound effect to represent these stars. So, and I think after that, that should be it. I mean, we feel like we've got everything. You know, it sounds Sounds pretty good to me. The ice sound and the electric sound effect, the upgraded ones, are much better. You know, all this sounds really good. I mean, it sounds really good. So we just need that little bit of extra flair at the end there, choo 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 choo, when the stars pop out. And then I'm thinking at that point we are done. You know, we've got the nice little cha-chings in here. That sounds really good. All the button hovers and stuff are in. All of the you know, all of this stuff is working. The sound effects and the mute buttons are working, and they're, you know, right where everybody needs them, so they can easily access them, you know, during the hub world, or they can easily access them during the main game. So I feel like giving players these kind of options is really gonna make our game so much better. So things are really starting to sound good, man. You know, we just need this last little couple little things, and we'll be a-okay. All right, man. Later on.